We gather together here today intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faith give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I got ahead of myself a little bit and opened up the council meeting. But we're going to slide right over to public hearing for the 2026 tax budget. So I declare the meeting for the tax budget open. Who has any comments in regard to that? Council? We had a first reading on it last meeting. Do you have anything to add to it? Questions, council? Or anybody in the audience who has a question? This is a proposed tax budget at the state or county?
County.
County requires, nothing about it's written in gold. It's just they need an estimate about what we're doing. We have passed these in past years many, many times. No questions, council? Residents, any questions? Okay, then I will declare the public hearing closed, and we'll presume with our council meeting. Pledge of Allegiance. Well, welcome everyone. Roll call. There we go. I'm finally caught up.
Mrs. Lakia?
Here.
Mr. Parson?
Here.
Mr. Redding?
Here.
Mrs. Joseph?
Here.
Mr. George?
Here.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mrs. Rickman?
Okay, everyone is accounted for and here. Move on to the minutes from the May 20th, 2025 council meeting. Does anybody have any corrections, alterations? I apologize for my voice. I got fighting what am I fighting?
Cold.
No, allergies, thank you. No, I have to have you up here all the time. You help me with words. If nobody has any corrections to make, I'd ask to adopt the minutes as printed.
I make a motion to adopt the minutes as printed.
Okay. Mr. Parsons has made a motion to adopt the minutes as printed, seconded by Ms. Rissel. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence. You have in your packet a police department report for May of 2025. You want to discuss that at this time?
Unless there's questions?
Okay. Guest and special events. We have some people here from the Tree Commission. Dwight Weesey.
You just tell me when you want me to advance it and I'll,
All right, I'll just speak up here then. Dwight Weesey, 1441 St. Clair Avenue, member of the Tree Commission. Tonight, we're going to do the presentation that I invited all of you to a couple months ago, I think it was. But I came down, I had too much going on with work. some of you may have been actually part of passing that ordinance back there and part of that effort. In that time, you know, I'm just doing a quick count for the trees that we have been kept count of. 177 trees have been planted over the years. We have had many volunteer efforts, not only with planting, but also with pruning and mulching that's gone on. Some of you have been part of doing that, and appreciate that very much. In 2023, we passed the street tree protection ordinance here. I think all of you were part of that effort, and greatly appreciate it, because that opened up the door. It was one of the main gates we had to hit the checkbox on so that we could get grant money here, which we were granted start in late 2023 with the start of 2024. So over this past year and a half, with that grant money, we have actually brought on board a track certified arborist under contract with the city. We've done a full city street survey, so we have a count of the over 300 trees that the city has on our street lawns. We've also gotten a track survey and hazard reduction pruning done. Talked about that quite a bit. We've done a tree management plan. We've done pruning classes, and we've also done the soil remediation. You go right down along Perry Street and see the spots that are set up there so we can do planting of trees this fall. A lot of those funds, you know, we make estimates. Those estimates don't turn out to be quite right. We didn't get to the tree planting. The tree planting would be in this fall here. We hope that we're going to still do that part. One of the big things, though, is that we did do a lot more than we had planned for. I mean, that full street survey had not initially been part of it. Actually, offering the pruning class, while it was one of our goals, it had not been specifically built into that budget, and we got those things done. It has led up to where the Tree Commission now has had the ability to do a few other things. We've partnered with North College Hill this year in doing, and the ODNR, with Wendy here, Wendy Van Bruin, who is with the Urban Forestry Division of Forestry. I threw that off, I said that wrong. Urban Forester with the Division of Forestry here. We'll say that better now. But, you know, we're doing things like monthly book clubs. We're doing the seeds and seedling planting and fostering, and we're doing a tree planting come this fall in the wetland parkland. So we're doing a lot that's trying to be community outreach and bringing folks' engagement into our tree care and awareness of what we're doing. We also did a Arbor Day tree planting. You can see our mayor up here presenting the proclamation on that day, and the 2 trees are still right across the street there, doing quite well. And we've done some volunteer pruning and mulching this year. These are still events that has taken a lot of work to do, but we're looking to keep on going from that. Next slide. So from the SWOT perspective, that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So it's looking internally from an organization where there are strengths and weaknesses, and if we're looking out what's in the future-wise and in the environment we're dealing with, what are those opportunities and threats that we may face from a tree commission perspective. You know, we're an established tree commission. We've been in practice now for 14 years, and we've got members that are very strong in this. We're not perfect. We have our own we've got personalities, each one of us, and they don't necessarily mesh, but we are going strong. We're very much interested in making sure that our trees are taken care of here. We do have a young street tree population. You can see on the chart behind me that of those trees that we have, the vast majority of them have a diameter that is less than 10 inches round, and that's at breast height when we do that measurement. That is an indication that it's really a young forest that we have growing on our street trees right now. We've also partnered and are doing outreach, like I mentioned, with the North College Hill. Those are strengths that allow us to do more working with the community and having a great opportunities for that we can build off of. Weaknesses, you know, everybody has resources. There's only a limited amount of them. don't necessarily have a whole lot that we can do with it. All of our efforts are by volunteers on the tree commission, and that has been a lot of times a hindrance, especially, with me working, stuff like that, that makes it tough to be able to get things done. One of the things that came out of our survey of all our trees is that we have a very big population of maple trees. You really want to try to have a, what they call a 10, 20, 30. So any 10% of one species, 20% the next level up of the family, 30% within the genus, and the next level up, so that you're trying to keep a diversity in your tree. So if something happens that comes in, for instance, what we've had happen in the past several years with the emerald ash borer and what it's done to ash trees, we wouldn't have that same situation going. So in the next several years, as you see us doing more tree planting, we probably will have no maple trees going in that groups. But that's something that is a weakness right now, that we do have such a heavy amount of that. We do have multiple trees that are that do need structured pruning or even crowning. You can sort of see the image up there. Structured pruning is what you do with a tree when it's young. Crown cleaning is when you take it to be much mature. The biggest difference that we will feel as a city when it comes to these trees is the cost. For a young tree, you can walk up and you can basically do all of it standing on the ground. When you get to the bigger trees, you now have to bring in a lift. It's much more bigger branches you're dealing with, and it's very tough. The whole purpose of both of them is that you want to keep your trees healthy. You want to have that single trunk that's going up there. When you get multiples that come out, it's now putting more energy into different trunks, and under wind conditions and other situations like that, you could actually have some of those break, which is not the situation we want with our street trees, right near cars or even people in our buildings. So having a single structure is a big thing that we're really after. Moving on to opportunities. The city growth and rejuvenation. It was great when I came here in February and I heard the presentations by the Yard Company and Human Nature. Those are the two that were listed on the website, because I couldn't remember the names, but I've had pointed out to me that there's another one that was referring to it as Uptown. That all of them were looking at saying trees are a big part of it, and it was a big positive part. Everybody that was coming in here, they had their heads nodding as to, yeah, we like that idea of having those street trees, just as the image shows there behind me. When it comes to the situation, we're actually in having gone through and dotted every I and crossed every T. We actually believe now, especially with the passing of the street tree ordinance, we actually qualify that we can now apply to be a Tree City USA city. That would give us recognition. It gives us the ability to tell our people we're taking care of our trees. We're putting some value in that. It is something that does give a representation to the neighborhood and to others that we're valuing our trees. We also have before us the opportunity for the ODNR with their second grant, number 2, that's coming up. Our threats. We do have some situations where we have the wrong tree in the wrong place. We're trying to do some things so that just you don't get any more of your snowplow at 3 o'clock in the morning. We don't want that type of situation. But we also have a few of those trees around. You can just see where it's sort of pushing a little bit into the sidewalks or pushing into the street, and that's not a good situation. We're going to maybe have to make some decisions down the road here on whether or not maybe some of those need to just come out, because they're just going to do more damage. And they may be very big, they may be very beautiful. Sometimes they're not so beautiful because they're also right underneath power lines. And the looks of them are not that great right now, especially after the pruning we just went through. Community relations and misinformation. And actually, a lot of it could be just misinformation, but there's also just never satisfying some people. You know, we hand out, when we went and did the mulching this spring, handed out flyers. We left flyers on doors and, you know, stuck them right on the edge of the screen door so people would have that notice of what we were doing for trying to mulch them. And yet we still had complaints coming into the city to get this mulch off of my yard. This stuff is ugly. I don't want it. It happens. We deal with it. And then we have a project focus. And you can see that in the back corner here behind, this is something that was like a big aha moment for me when I was going through the TCA. Borrowing this, and it's used with permission from the TCA material. People like to see the trees being planted. It's politically motivating when you see those trees getting down there. It's great. Where you really need to put some of your resources up front to those taking care of the trees you already have. That's not quite so sexy. That's not quite so visible at times. Sometimes people say, oh, I liked the way the tree was before you did this. You know, it's how they look rather than, hey, is it a good strong tree that's going to last for years? Those things don't come into people's minds. And yet putting those resources to those actually allows you to build a much better street tree value that will keep those growing, keep them healthy for years, and will remove those that are in the need of being removed, so we take care of them. So if we go on to the next slide, we've really tried to take this into practice. We've put together a basic look here right now of where we want to put money in. And we're structuring this very much. Now, it's not all the money is going to the very top thing on there, but you know, if you think about planning, a lot of it is making sure you have training, you have the right people on board. So we're looking at making sure we are providing opportunity as part of the grant to actually pay for city workers, as well as any of you that want to go to the TCA during that time frame, that we've built that into the grant process. We're also looking at doing another track assessment and hazard reduction pruning. You know, it's always hard to say how much of it. This is sort of based off what we did last time. But also, since we haven't done that one before this, I have a feeling we may actually spend a little bit less money on that one. But I also have to be ready, just because we may just say, after this last time that Duke has come through, some of these other trees need to come down that we just had not planned on, did not think they're that way, but it may just be the case that may have to be done. Mulching, we want to really make sure that these young trees, especially with so many of them that are still that smaller size, to get that mulching, because that does a lot for keeping away the grass cutting, the weed whackers, which really will destroy those really young trees. We want to do some pruning and really put a lot of effort into that over the next we'll have 2 winters time frame. We'll actually try to get this right at the very start of 2026 in the springtime, and then also into 2027. You know, during the wintertime, doing a lot of trying to hit all of those over 200 trees that we have with structured pruning. Here's where the big money comes in, though, is we know we need to catch some of the bigger trees also, so that they last longer, that they are in better health, and those are going to cost quite a bit more money. That's where we're looking at putting actually half of what we're asking for towards that 50K of that. Then we do still want to do some plant site preparation. Plan to do similar things. That's what we just did here with Perry Street, and then get another planting in. We'll probably be coming right back around again on 2027 with our own funds to do a second planting then at the end of 2027 because that's outside the grant area. The grant can be anywhere from $15,000 to $100,000. We see this as a great opportunity. We have demonstrated that we can do a lot of work with the funds that we have gotten from the state. And we want to be able to go do that same type of thing and maximize that opportunity. So we're going for the full $100,000 in this next grant request. because we have been a community that has executed, we have spent all the funds that were given to us from grant number 1, that actually is giving us a heads up. It's an adder to our, what will be when we post in, or we submit in. So we're likely to be actually a winner for that funding next year, then when it comes in. The application for it is due in August. Like last time, we do need to have the city council endorsement for this. So we're proposing that, this is my first information to it. We'll have the details of it by next meeting in July, where we have finalized it this year. And that we're ready to do the first reading and then do a second reading in August so that we can submit that for the grant application. We are, right now, the funds you can see up here adds up to more than $100,000. I've been told that that's a good thing to actually have, because it says that if we end up with projects that cost less than what we estimate, we've got other ones in the wings ready to go. It's sort of like that shovels ready kind of concept. We know what we can go do with the funds. We have ways that we can manage it if it turns out it goes the other way, and we'll be ready to take the money that has been provided to us and use it, because it doesn't do the state any good, it doesn't do the nation any good when you just sort of give it back on there, because they already counted it being gone, and the administrative costs that end up going to it, it just sort of barons up. So if this gives our community the opportunity to take those resources and to be able to do good with it. So we're asking for your support to be able to do that this coming year. All right, that took a little bit longer than I meant. Last little bit here is that we do have, as I mentioned, Wendy Van Buren with us, who is my instructor and has been my consultant in many different things. So Wendy, let me turn it over to you.
Great. So I work for Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I assist with municipalities and townships with their tree programs. In Southwest Ohio, I cover 14 counties. This is one of them. I have the pleasure of working with your staff and your tree board on the grant, which went swimmingly. It's a really good process. And part of that, I believe, is because your tree board has all taken the Tree Commission Academy class that has been nationally recognized. We've run awards from the Arbor Day Foundation on the innovation program. And basically what it does is it teaches communities how to take care of your green infrastructure and have a long service life, make it storm proof, do all those good things that we like to live in. And the class is 2 years, and Dwight has finished it, and I thought this would be a really nice time to present to him his bachelor's certificate. It reads, "Be it known that the urban foresters of the Ohio Division of Forestry have granted this bachelor's certificate in recognition of having successfully completed Tree Commission Academy, and is thereby entitled to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities entitled to the full members of CCA." So,
Congratulations.
I do have elected officials come to my class. I have a class coming this fall. Would love to see you. Class. Staff are welcome to. But I'll stick around for a little bit in case you have any questions. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I will say that people recognize the fact that we do have trees. I've had 3 people in the last week. They were upset because they saw the mounds of dirt and they thought we cut trees down. And so they said, "I don't know why you cut those trees down on Perry Street." I said, "We didn't. The dirt there is for trees that are to be planted." They went, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, they saw the dirt and they thought we had taken trees out. So, yeah. Something to look forward to.
Follow us Facebook, but we'll go ahead and take a picture and put it out there so people have a little bit of awareness on it. Last bit, I do want to say thank you for all your support, because it has been the city coming behind. They've paid for the TCA for me to go to. you've been supportive of the effort that we've been doing. So thank you, thank you,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Dwight?
Thank you,
Dwight?
Steve.
Dwight, does the grant have a matching obligation from the city?
No, no matching obligation.
Okay. We will probably provide some money anyway.
I'd be happy for that. Do some great things.
Mr. Redding has a question.
I have a question for, concerning the street trees, and you were talking about maple trees also. Have you seen any of the pests that have been attacking maple trees on any of our maple trees that are street trees?
We had one tree this winter, and we were, the arborist, Jerry Frankenhoff, that we've hired here, he and I were out doing some tree pruning over Christmas break, and there was one tree that came up with a little bit of like a fungus on it.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't,
It was not something that looked like it was spreading to other trees or anything like that.
okay,
So, right now, everything else seems to be.
because there is a boar that likes to
We have not seen
destroy
any
maple
evidence of
trees.
that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Dwight,
Thank you.
Thank you.
and everybody else that's on part of the commission there.
I get Wendy's email.
Okay, move on to public input. Who would like to address city council tonight? Anybody?
Surprise, surprise.
Give us your name and address, please.
Yeah, of course. My name is Taylor Cox. My address is probably 1723 Adams, which is Mount South Elementary. So I was just coming to say hi as the new South Elementary principal, and just speak to that, speak to you all. I've been in a few districts, and some are a little bit bigger than Mount Healthy, and they have local community councils, so I wanted to make sure I came out. Didn't look like we had a local, as part of a smaller neighborhood, like a Brentwood thing versus a Mount Healthy, but wanted to come out and say hi to everybody, introduce myself, and just see what the opportunities were there, if that makes sense. I've actually been telling the story to most of the folks that I'm a Jane Hooper from back in the day. if that makes sense.
Me too.
That's a fun story to tell. Yeah, I used to live on Tag. Maybe that's my address. And so it's kind of fun to come back and kind of be in that same school that Jane Hooper obviously ended up feeding into. So yeah, I just wanted to speak to that. I even spent 10 years in Parks and Rec, so I have a little bit of understanding about municipal operations over there when I was living in Fairfield. So thank you to you all as well. Anyway, so yeah, just coming. I just wanted to again introduce myself so that you guys feel like you have access to me if there's a need, and there may not be, and that's totally okay. One of the things that schools do really well is like mass messaging. You know, so if there's an opportunity, especially like a community opportunity, and you're like, hey, can you use your dialer, can you use your text messenger, that kind of thing. You know, our parents really listen to that, and they're the ones with the kids, so it's really a great way to tailor a message if there is something there, or if it's a facilities piece. You know, we have one of the best facilities, really multiple of the best facilities in the area, obviously. You know, again, in saying that I want to be part of the community, the larger community, not just the school community, is saying, hey, how can we get you in the building if there's a need or an opportunity? So that's some of the stuff I wanted to say. Obviously, the district has a lot of challenges it's facing right now. And then I know, as far as a building leader and advocating for my building in particular, I am looking for whatever businesses feel like there's a win-win there. And I feel like that's something I've been able to provide businesses in the past in leading other schools where it feels like a win-win. So if you all have, you know, relationships where they're like, yeah, that's valuable to us in terms of our ethics and our ethos, you know, and Taylor, somebody that can kind of help communicate, you know, thank you to X business for this thing, or otherwise fulfills their mission, then that's something I'm definitely very interested in. I know I've started reaching out to some of our local churches, especially to make sure that that's a win for them. So that's the piece there. That's all I wanted to say. If you guys have questions for me, I'm certainly happy to, yeah.
So part of the We Thrive, we have a We Thrive committee, and I know at our meeting tonight, one of the things we talked about safe routes to schools, and there's funding out there. We've done it in the past with sidewalks, but we know that a lot of the kids are going to be walking this year, which is a concern. And especially the kids from Compton Apartments that'll be walking to your building. So if there's any way, I know we talked in the We Thrive meeting tonight as they were going to reach out to see if there's any kind of support, anything out there that they can do with the school district in order to make it something that's going to be a struggle for these kids walking to and from school. We've been there before, and we're not excited that obviously these kids have to deal with that. So of course, I know I can get with you later and talk to you about the conversation we had last night too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I do
I mean
think
tonight.
You're bringing up, will hit south of all of our buildings.
It will, the most. It certainly will.
What I haven't done yet is like, send out a letter to myself and my school community. I plan to do that. That'll come soon. But with that will be the change to our hours, because we are shifting, I think it's a 7:50 report time now for students and 7:20 for staff, which is a full half hour early. So that's in addition to all of the walking routes that we'll have. I know Dr. Sarah Wilson is our Assistant Superintendent of Transportation and Student Services. So that's primarily her domain. She and I have had some initial conversations about it, but we've not sat down to do the nuts and bolts
Okay.
of, where are our pain points as far as the safety piece. What you're talking about is something I have engaged with in other schools. Usually there's obviously a lag between the plan and, the bringing.
And anything we can do to support. I mean, I was the principal at North Elementary,
Yeah, very
so I realized there was a different situation. Here, it's different in that there's gonna be a lot of kids walking, so anything we can do.
Connect them with us, then
Yeah,
I'll definitely
absolutely.
take the time for all three of us that we,
Right.
Dr. Wilson, myself.
And we have a police chief, we have an awesome police chief, so I know the police department, any way they could support and recognize the challenges that are gonna be there would be important.
I did meet with Chief earlier last week.
Oh, good.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're one of the first principals that have ever come here to address us, and I want to thank you for that, because we've always looking to have that connection with the school district, and we've kind of had a disconnect over the last how many years. So it's, thank you for taking the time to be here tonight.
Yeah, I'll send you all an email so you have my contact specifically, and it'll have my cell phone number, and so that'll be a good way to get a hold of me afterwards, but yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
Anybody else like to address council? Okay, then we're going to move on to committees and commissions. Beautification, Ms. Lingo.
All the flowers, thanks to Justin and his department, who had to help me because I couldn't take off of work, are planted uptown. And they look great. Thank you, Justin. And I'm assuming you've been watering them because they look good. So that's just my report.
Okay.
More.
Economic Development, Mr. Young.
We have had a couple meetings here, last month and this month. This month, we talked a little bit about business registration and trying to figure out ways to connect with current businesses and businesses that are coming in, want to come into the city. City has a software that's just coming up, so we're working on getting that working and learning it. So we're kind of going through that. But, we have some of these businesses just pop up overnight, and, we need to get them on board to get them registered with us to figure out what they do, what they're doing, contacts and things like that. So we got to get our fire department up to date on inspections and get them out in the community getting caught up on those things. So we know it's currently in some of these buildings. And and then also meeting with our building department with Gordon for codes and registration and regulations. So just getting a lot of that, but kind of get it on once we get the software up, we'll kind of get an idea of that, but we need to get ahead of some of these things that we're behind in. Last month, we kind of met with the management company that takes care of our properties. As most of everybody knows, Just One More was closed down as of May 31st. And that was because the building was in such disrepair. Years of water damage interior, the bar area leaking downstairs, it just become a hazard. Floor issues, different things like that. So we learned tonight, I think Scott and Justin walked through the building today and needs some TLC in there. So we'll have to get in there and get some estimates about getting that cleaned up and then just decide what we're gonna do with the property. Get some ideas with that. So a little bit of work there with that building and just getting with the businesses to get things. We do have a facade improvement going on right now. We're getting colors down for our 3 businesses that we're working with. Once we get that done here, we should be getting on the schedule for 2 of them to get painted. So look for that to happen hopefully here this summer to get those painted and get those looking nice. So lot going on, and hopefully some more grant money coming out here sometime this year for next year. So it's about all I have right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Young. Questions? Okay, thank you, sir. Finance, Mr. Parsons.
I don't have a report, but I'm going to call a committee meeting before our next council meeting, July 15th at 6 o'clock, to review the 6-month actual income and expense items.
Library, Parks Commission, Ms. Dosa.
Thank you. As for library updates, the library summer reading program is still in full swing. It ends July 31st. June 20th, they will be having a family play date at the library from 10:30 to 11:30. Caregivers can enjoy a cup of coffee or tea on the library while their children play with others, read, or check out books. They have a recommended age of 1 to 5, but just wanted to make everyone aware. And if, they said that please feel free to bring other siblings or younger children as well. June 23rd, they have a movers and shakers class at the library from 10:30 to 11. Children and their parents can sing, dance, and enjoy music, movement, and fun. June 23rd, also, they have a silent book club from 4 to 5 p.m. Bring your current read or find a new one on the shelves and read alone together is recommended for ages 12 to 18. And that's all I have for the library. Park updates. We had a lot going on in the parks the last couple weeks. We had the Mulberry Festival that took place on June 8th. It was really nice. It had a great turnout in spite of this bipolar weather we keep having. Many people came out and the weather held up for the most part. The live band was really nice. There were a lot of great vendors with nice goods and educational content to present. And the main event was the Mulberry Bake Off, and I could not remember because I couldn't hear them when they said it who won. But it was a lot of amazing.
Vicky Sturworth.
It was Vicky Sturworth.
Her pizza.
And I did see that. That looked really good. And there was a lot of amazing things that they had that were made from mulberries, from muffins to, like she said, the pizza. It was just a lot of nice things, and hopefully we'll have another great turnout for this event next year if they want to do it again. June 3rd, we had a bench dedication ceremony in honor of Kenny Keffmeyer and the Kenny Keffmeyer Foundation. A special thanks to Ron Reedy and Playground Equipment Structures for all that they did to get the bench into the park and the time they donated to the city and all the other special touches that they did to honor Mr. Keffmeyer and presenting us with the bench. Immediately following the dedication, we had our first concert in the park, the opening concert. It was really good, and the rain held off almost to the end. And we had a really nice band. We had face painting by Catherine Cupp. Community Church, New Life Community Church, thank you, gave out water. And then we had Sweet Treats, the food truck, which was very good. June 13th, we had our Safety and Wellness Day, which was a very good event. We had a lot of people come out for the most part. We had a great collaborative effort from the Mount Healthy Police Department, the Mount Healthy Fire Department, the Mount Healthy Library, Metro Now, the Mount Healthy Alliance. We had fire trucks, ambulances. The Plackey family brought out their antique trucks. Metro Now had gave out information and allowed people to come on and see what was on board. They gave out swag. We had bike helmets, locks, and safety information presented, and we gave away bikes from the Health Alliance. We had, again, face painting and magic tricks. The library was there giving out books and information about the summer programs and things that they could do at the library. We gave out ice cream. We had New Life Community Church there giving out water again. And we had Sweet Treats food truck present, and the band Gamut gave a great concert. It was a great show. It's my hope that we can build on this and have another Safety and Wellness Day next year and expand it. A special thanks to Joe Redding for spearheading that Safety Wellness Day, an event along with a lot of other council members in the Health Alliance and everyone that took part in to make it a great day for everyone. I really appreciate everybody's help, for those who showed up and helped and jumped right in, and for Joe and spearheading that and following up with people and getting contacts for us to have this event in the park. I really appreciate everybody's help with that. We have an upcoming Shakespeare in the Park It's scheduled for August 30th, but we'll start getting out more information about that within the next couple of weeks so that we can get great attendance for that event in the park. Park equipment update. I'm still working with PES to finalize park plans. We keep going back and forth about the inclusive type structures and the things that we would like for the park and areas and et cetera. So hopefully we'll have that done soon. They did give me one prior to us doing the grant, but after talking and after looking into other things, we're trying to figure out some other ways to manipulate structures in the park for up and down, or how we're gonna lay it out. So hopefully I'll have more information to present to you soon. The grant was submitted. Thank you for everyone who took time to read our grant, to help make corrections, to add, informative information and letters. Thank you for everyone from council, the community, for everyone who took time to just write a letter of what the purpose was and what we needed it for and how it would be beneficial to the city of Mount Healthy. I'm very grateful for that. The awards are typically awarded and announced like mid-November, so we may not hear anything for a while, but fingers crossed. And again, thank you for everyone that participated and helped with that. Lastly, I'll be circulating a sign up for the summer concert series and the July 3rd, the beer and seltzer station. I need some help with that, so please see me after council if you would like to sign up. Even if you don't want to sign up, still look at it anyway. And lastly, I would like to have a park commission meeting on July 15th at 6 p.m. before our council meeting. So that'd be July 15th in Chambers. And that's all I have.
Okay,
Does anybody
thank you.
have questions? I'm sorry.
Questions?
So my committee meeting then will be in the city manager's office.
You can have up here and I can go across the hall.
That don't matter.
Okay.
Mr. Redding?
You only left out two people.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
North College Hill are two organizations. North College Hill Fire Department was there with their ladder truck and their other engine. I believe that was a pumper.
That's right, thank
So
you.
they showed up. That was a nice surprise. And then finally, the mayor, Jenny, and yourself handing out ice cream strictly to buy votes for the next election, which is in I don't know how many years.
I'm out. It's not for me.
But no, you guys did a great job doing that, so I just wanted to add those two. So.
Well, while you're at it, because you were on my notes, I've got to say, Joe, you worked really hard
Yes,
on
he
that
did.
safety and wellness. I mean, there were a lot of people, Keisha, the board, but Joe, I'm telling you what, you were all over the place. I just want to thank you for all your efforts, because you we were like, wow, look at Joe, look at Joe, look at Joe. We appreciate it. And Mike Ballard from Public Works, Mike did
Yes,
a
Mike
nice
did.
job
Excellent.
he was very busy, and we certainly appreciated that,
Yes,
too.
thank you.
So-
Thank you both for those reminders.
One more time, because I told him I would. Again, thank you, Mike Ballard. And Justin, I sent you a text. No, he really did a nice job getting us where we needed to be. The city trucks were all out there, from the Gator all the way to the big dump trucks and everything else. So it was a nice event. The only downside is we kind of battled the weather a little bit and some other events going on, but we'll improve. So.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Question? Okay, safety, Mr. Redding.
So just a couple of things. You saw the police report from the chief, or the chief's report, I should say. Just a couple of things to go over there. Notice that it was a little bit of a busy month for the police at a couple of establishments, a couple of our local bars, I'll say. But more importantly, there was an event at D&Q events in the 7600 block of Hamilton Avenue, which was, it looked like it was a teen party that got out of hand. Typically, that doesn't happen. This is the first time, and I can't remember how long that we've had a teen party that got out of hand, but there were issues concerning that, including the assault of a police officer. So, and we always take that very seriously. So, because of that, I'd like to hold a safety meeting on July 9th at 11 a.m. So a little bit of different time, but I would like to make sure our fire department is there. So July 9th at 11 a.m. again. So, and there's more about that. It looked like, there were over 100 kids and some some things that these were mostly all juveniles, so we got to look deeper into that and see what caused that and make sure that doesn't happen again. Make sure all the events that go on in the city are safe, so that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. Questions? Okay, schools, Mr. George.
Your name again, sir?
It's Taylor Cox.
Taylor Cox. I just wanted to say, as a fellow Jane Hoop alumni and a city councilman, that really meant a lot. Thank you for coming up and the way you introduce yourself. That we don't see that too often, so thank you very much. Earlier this month, DeShayla Wardlaw
Good, yeah.
out of Mount Healthy High School became the second Mount Healthy Owl to become a state champion. So I want to extend a huge congratulations to her. And it's been nearly 3 decades since the previous state champion was had in 1994, who was also a young lady. So I think, based on my research, she'd be the second ever to do that. So that's super cool. Just want to give her a shout out. And then on the Mount Healthy Facebook page, you can find more information out about this, but Mount Healthy High School, junior, senior high, they offer a Ohio summer food service program that's free, by the way, where on certain days, youth can come up and get a free breakfast or a free lunch, or both. So check out the Mount Healthy Facebook page for more information on that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. George? Okay, thank you. Streets, Ms. Frissell.
Well, I really don't have a lot, except we're working on them. That's it. I mean, lots of complaints still coming in, but
Okay, thank you. Mayor's report, Ms. Moody.
Yes, on your desk, you saw that there are 2 lists again, one for the Planning Commission, one for Building and Zoning. I'd like you to please review that and approve those. Basically, it's the same members. I had to extend Scott Bowers' ending date and extend Tom Gillius and Steve Lawson's expiration date. I'm still working on trying to keep people on a rotating basis, and at some point, probably next month, I'll be taking John Peters off because he'll be moving out of town, and I'm working on a replacement for him. But tonight, I'd like you to be able to approve these so that we can keep up with the expiration dates of the members of the Planning Commission and the Building and Zoning. Keisha did a great job, Parks, great job with saying everything. I just want to give another little shout out to the Mulberry Festival organizers. These people have worked tirelessly for a year to keep this Mulberry Festival going. They even marched and were in the Memorial Day Parade. They worked really hard. There were a lot of special things that they did. And so I just wanted to thank them again for all. I was on the committee, but by far, they did so much more than I did. I was just there to be a support and to help out where I could. I met with Ethan Reynolds. So he is from the governor's office. And so what the governor does in the state of Ohio is he has people in different parts of Ohio, in different sections, that go out and meet with mayors quarterly. And Mr. Reynolds is a council member in Xenia, Ohio. At our meeting, we talked a lot about this proposed House Bill 335, which Mr. Bauer will address too in his report. It's presently in committee, and if it gets out of committee and it goes to a vote, it will eliminate inside millage for cities only. Townships would be exempt. And I will tell you that most of your legislatures in the House and the Senate have township backgrounds. They do not have city backgrounds. If our inside millage gets eliminated, that's going to hurt us. And so there is a resolution that you'll be seeing to address this. I am going to be getting names. He gave me a list of names of people that we can contact. I would think Cindy Abrams, who's our House representative, she is from the city of Harrison. She was on Harrison City Council. So I would think she would concur with us that this is very detrimental to cities if this passes. Catherine Ingram is our Senate, and she has a past relationship coming up through the ranks of public service through the city of Cincinnati. So I'm hoping they would be no votes. I don't know whether it'll get out of committee or not. They think maybe if it gets out of committee, it would be in August, but it would probably come to a vote in November. So we probably need to start addressing this. I know we're going to do this formally tonight, but also be making phone calls expressing how distressed we are that they're only picking on cities and that we would lose our inside millage. Let's see, what else was I going to say here? A city certificate I gave to Mr. Young tonight. I believe is that your great aunt?
Great aunt, yes.
Catherine Walters will be turning 100 years old, one of our city residents, June 21st. So he's going to be giving her that certificate of achievement. And she said, what did she say? She doesn't think she'll make it till.
It's not a goal I'm trying to attain, so.
Right. So I'm glad I got it to him tonight because
Yeah,
her
so I'll
birthday
give
is
it to you
June
early then,
21st.
so-
So he's going to try
She
to
doesn't
get it
know
to
she's getting
her
it,
really
but that's what
quick.
she- yeah.
And I just want to let you know, too, that I met with Doug from the NIC, our new code enforcer. Had conversation with him. We had a couple residents upset about a few things, and I felt really good about the conversation I had with him and some of the things that he's doing as far as putting notices on doors and going around trying to get a handle on some of the things that we've been a little lax on, or we picked and choose what we're going to look at and what we're not going to look at. A good conversation with him. He's got a good background, and he's very available. If there is a concern that you have, it's something in the residential district, of course, and in the business district, if there's some kind of code enforcement. Code enforcement is huge in the residential and business district, especially the business district. And it's extremely important that we get a handle on this so that we can move forward in this city.
Is his name on the website? Is there a way we can get a hold of him?
Yeah, so on the still on the Mount Healthy website, it's not, we don't call it,
On the banner?
there's a link that you can still,
Oh, the feedback? Is that-
feedback, yeah, that's what it's feedback, which will be kind of, ClickFix is now feedback, you'll see that. You put that in,
He reads that?
We'll forward it to them.
they will forward it to
There's,
him.
NIC has a number, and I don't have top of my head, but I can get the number out there. You're welcome to call NIC direct, and they will feed it to him.
Yeah,
Either option would work.
okay, and that's my report.
Questions for the mayor? Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. City manager report, Mr. Bauer.
Let's see, updates here. Fire department's still working through the assessment. Police department, the grant has opened for the COPS grant. We'll be applying for an additional COP that we're in the process of filling it out. I think it's due by the end of this month, and we're expecting a quick turnaround, so hopefully in the next few months we'll know if we're approved or not. Let's see, mentioned House Bill 335. I've got the OML, the Ohio Municipal League, has put together just a informational thing on your desk. You can read through that. We'll talk about it more when we get to the legislation. Just want to kind of say publicly, the BZA for tomorrow, that's one reason we want to get these nominations passed, but the BZA for tomorrow was canceled to be rescheduled probably next couple weeks, just so people know. I think we've reached out to all the members. Everyone knows, but I don't know if anyone was planning to attend it. I'll let you know when that gets rescheduled. Mentioned NIC. They have started sending me reports. I'll get those added to my report, and I can send them to people. They should let me know how many high grass notifications that were submitted, and I'll let you know how many ended up getting assessed, and Public Works have to take care of. So I'll start adding that back to my report. Update on Werner and Madison project and the second phase of Harrison. The advertisement for bid should be going out this month. I don't recall what the timeline typically is, but we'll get that posted. It'll probably be a couple weeks, and then we'll hear bids and select someone. And hopefully still before the end of this year, both those projects will get started. Let's see here. Still, Paul kind of talked about a lot of the stuff I would have mentioned. We're still getting into it with the property maintenance software. We've already started the code enforcement, which would be high grass and weeds type stuff, permitting, and the next one will be business licensing. Let's see, July 3rd's coming up here. We've got the Masons, Roger Perry, Dan Petrikowski, or Petrocelli, sorry. We've got one food truck, Shaved Ice Station, and the beer booth. Put in the order with Heidelberg. Everything should be good to go with that. And this year, we're planning to have an ATM. Did we finalize that? Okay, so we will have an ATM on site. Did I see people talking beforehand about signing up for July 3rd? Joe, did I see you pass? Are we good? Okay. We can kind of work through that. Who's taking what shift? What else did I have? That's really all I have. Just, again, Paul kind of mentioned it with the facade contracts. The contracts are prepared with all the contractors to do the work. I think we're kind of working out a little bit of, there's some aspects of the work that we're kind of working with each contractor on, but hopefully this will be signed either this week or next week, and we can get going on those sometime this summer. So that's all that I have. I guess the pool, sorry, I'll mention the pool. The pool seems to be going well. We were a little worried about staffing at first, but it seems like we're fully staffed. Everyone seems to be having a good time. I think we're looking at expanding the hours of it. Still wish we could expand the season in general, but we've just always had issues keeping kids, before the summer and after the summer. So, but I think we're at least going to expand the hours. So it's going well.
From 7 to 8? Or
What's that?
you said you're going to expand the hours from 7 to 8, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Just an extra, just an extra hour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Yeah, if we could kind of keep some weekends, that'd be nice. I mean, the season for a lot of other places continues on past what we do, but it's all dependent on staffing, so.
May need to look at some parking issues up there too. It's full all the time.
There's a lot of kids, there are a lot of people at the pool. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. That's all I have.
Okay, questions for the
One
city
question,
manager?
July 3rd, have we heard anything about fireworks costing more, not getting as much or anything because of maybe
I think it's
tariffs?
the same price as last year, right? I guess we won't really know until they set them off if there's more, more or less. The Fireball is coming back.
Ooh, the Fireball.
We have T-shirts for that again this year.
Yeah.
It works.
I think that is the plan.
But you haven't heard that we should get anything less?
No?
Okay.
Not that I've heard.
A month or two ago, there was stuff in the news about fireworks being hard to get and costing
Yeah.
more.
Not that I have heard. I guess mentioning the T-shirts, the Eagles are planning to be there as well. I think they are working out getting a new T-shirt for this year. And I think it will be Fireball themed. I think that's the case. But
I did too.
Okay, thank you.
I don't.
Yep.
Okay, moving on.
I
Public
got a
Works?
question for
Yes.
Scott. We talked about, there was a company up here in Mount Healthy that wanted to know if they could set up an informational booth. I don't know if you remember that conversation, but for July 3rd, US Bank.
They had not reached out to me.
Okay.
Were they still planning to?
I will get back,
Okay.
I will call her and get back with you
Gotcha.
to see if they're, I didn't know if they were able to. We talked about, hey, is that okay? And, okay, I'll get back with her and say it's okay.
Tell them to bring the ATM.
Mentioning that reminds me, the soccer club will be setting up a booth. They did last year. They'll be setting up a booth this year
Okay.
as
Say
well. So.
something.
Any other questions? Okay, Public Works Department, Mr. Justin Westrich.
How's it going? I just got back from vacation, so the past couple of days I've been playing catch-up. So I'm going to be pretty brief tonight. Pretty much the whole month of May was dedicated to opening the pool. As you guys said, the pool's doing well. No problems. The rain has really been tough to deal with. A lot of our projects have to be done when it's dry. Potholes is the big one. So, but we've still managed to put down a little over 30 tons of blacktop
Wow.
in potholes and repairs. So, if you guys saw, we did a pretty big repair at Seward and Adams. It was a learning experience. And then we went around and did the parade route to eliminate any trip hazards. And I think we ended up putting up like 7 or 8 tons down in one day. So it all turned out well. We're being self-taught on how to use the new equipment you guys got us, and it seems to be working very well. It just needs to be dry. So with that said, with potholes being the #1 complaint, I got a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot out there. Andrew, while I was on vacation, did a street sweeping. So we've got basically 2 full dumpsters of roads in the parking lot there that Rumpke's hauling off. So we're gonna get back out there and start filling the potholes again. You know, make our list of potholes and actual ones we're gonna repair. So Forest is gonna be probably an actual repair. So it's event season. So like we did the Memorial Day, as you guys said with Mike, with the safety thing. We got July 3rd coming up, so there's a lot of prep that goes into that. And sounds like there's a lot more stuff than last year and the year before last, so we might need to get some heads together and come up with a map on where we're going to put all this stuff. So, really, other than that, we're just kind of chugging along. So, that's all I got.
Okay, Justin, questions for Justin? I'll just throw a,
Okay, I do have 2 high school kids that are litter picking. So instead of getting the summer help, we have 2 kids that are pretty much dedicated to watering flowers and picking up litter. So I think kind of in the middle of starting of the soccer season, and both these kids are soccer players, so we got pretty much one person here 4 days a week. So see somebody, teenager out driving around in a Gator, he didn't steal it, he's picking up litter. So, that's it.
all right, Justin, thank you. Any questions? I do have one I'll just throw out there. Have you moved forward on any of the speed humps? Where you're
Have
going to
not.
put them?
We have not, I mean, so we have the radar thing out there on Compton. Really, the average speed on Compton Road is like 37 miles an hour. So I feel like the radar is a lot more accurate than the tubes. So I think we had inaccurate information with the tubes. Because I don't think the fastest I think I've seen is maybe, was it like 62 or something like that, Scott? I mean, there's been no 100-mile-an-hour numbers coming through town.
Well, that's good.
That is good. So, but we still, I don't know, it's in the works. We're still gonna put the second one on Adams, but then we'll have 2 left over to figure out which side of Compton we put them on. We want to put them down by, Fibonacci's, or we will put them down here by Mallory. We just have to figure out where to put them.
The plans for Harrison also, they do include speed humps, just like we did on the north section. I think they're going to be able to fit 2 in. And if we only want 1, we can kind of decide before they actually get going if we want 1 or 2 and exactly where they are. I just told them initially, I think I said between Compton and Kinney, and between Kinney and or maybe I said between Stevens and Adams. I'll have to see. Well, I mean, we can kind of, it's like one of the last things they do, but they are planning to put in 2 at the moment onto Southern Harrison. What's that?
Higher than the other ones?
You don't think those are high enough?
The ones they put in on Harrison? Now? I don't think so.
I feel like if you go over 25,
Huh?
I can knock myself out of the seat with it.
how fast have you hit that thing at? How fast have you hit that speed hump at?
You're going too slow. Speed it up a little bit.
Darn, I have to try it.
Try it at 35 and see what you get.
Yeah.
Try
Really,
25.
seriously.
A ticket.
That and a ticket.
Broken Springs.
But that's only,
Okay, then, Scott, there's kind of a question I had for you. Driving around town a little bit today, I was thinking about the 10 cents a gallon gas tax that was passed some time ago, years ago, actually now. It was originally, the idea was to use that money towards alley repair. Is there any chance of that coming in? Where'd that money go?
I mean, I think we're due, we kind of let it accumulate a little bit just to see, you know, they told us it was going to be a certain amount. Let's actually see if that's the amount that comes in. So we've let it accumulate a little bit. Some of that went to the Bobcat so that we can actually do formal repairs as opposed to just shoveling it in, which I think the Public Works has taken great advantage of. I'm trying to work with JMA that we can, if every road project, if we try to just tie in an alley, even if it's something that we're paying for, you know, maybe we can tie it into the project, but or at least if we can just tack it onto the project and we pay it out of that, maybe we can start working on some of those alleys. That's been my idea. I'm waiting for JMA to kind of come back and see, but.
While they're mobilized, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get a better rate for it, and
Be nice.
I mean, with the Werner project's coming up, there's a really bad alley at, I think it's Werner and Kinney.
That's true.
But there's kind of some stub streets like Harding and the northern leg of Harrison that kind of have been missed. I'm hoping somehow I mean, they're not alleys, but hoping we can kind of tie those in too, because otherwise, little stubs like that, you know, I feel like it'd be 10, 20 years down the road before we could get back to them as part of a bigger project, but.
Harding's almost gravel. It's that bad.
Which one at Harding?
Yeah, Harding is almost gravel. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's the one. We had the gentleman a few months ago, well, maybe it's been a year by now, talking about it. That one's in bad shape. And again, if we wait for an OPWC project, I don't really know when we'll get around to it. But, I mean, that was at least my idea, is to try to tie it in with a project each year, and maybe we're not spending it all at once to redo all the alleys. I mean, I feel like if we did that, it's probably a couple $1 million. I mean, we'd be waiting a while for that money to accumulate.
No, I just think if we have the opportunity and the money hasn't gone to other things, it'd be nice to start getting some of the alleys repaired.
Yeah. With the next couple road projects here, I'm hoping to come with some proposals to spend some of the gas tax money, so.
Yeah, and Justin, the east section of McMacken, from Joseph to Elizabeth, if you could put a few more patches in there. Well, I just got this new shocks on my truck, and I want to try them out.
Try them out? Yeah.
That's an awful street.
Yeah.
That is one that was approved. I
Yes.
still haven't signed the paperwork, so I mean, I'm a little hesitant to say it, but the JMA's told me that they did approve that one. That was I think we did that last year. I think that was our OPWC.
So that'll be done in 2030 or
I know.
something?
McMacken and Joseph.
Yeah, it's the cross of McMacken and Joseph.
Felt like Joseph from Adams to Compton, I believe.
Well, I think it's only Hill to
Hill to-
Compton.
Hill to
Yeah, Hill to
Compton.
Compton. Yeah. And I don't know how far this way McMacken will go, but it will
One
go.
of the last things I did before I went on vacation was mark our utilities, and they asked to mark them all the way down to Adams, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it is ending at Hill, because, I mean, once you get north of Hill, I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
I think that's relatively recent that it was redone.
Yeah. I thought it was
Joseph.
odd too, because they went to McMacken marked all the way over to Harrison,
Okay.
so.
Okay, are there any more questions for Justin? Okay, we're going to move on then to ordinances and resolutions. We have a second reading of a resolution. Resolution number 25-1229. A resolution adopting a tax budget for 2026. We had the first reading on this at our last meeting. Had a public hearing on it this evening before council. Questions, council? Any questions before we go on? Then I would ask for a motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-1229.
I second.
Okay. Mr. Parsons made a motion to adopt. Mr. George has seconded the motion. Resolution number 25-1229. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Ms. Rissel.
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1229 is adopted. Then we have a first reading of a resolution, 25-1230, a resolution authorizing the city manager to file application for Nature Works Round 31 on behalf of the city of Mount Healthy, Ohio.
So this is related to the grant that Keisha helped put together, organized putting it together. Just authorize it. It's after the fact. You get a month basically to submit this. So we've already submitted the application. Once this is passed, we'll submit it as well. We do want it in one reading. And yeah, upon it passing, we'll submit it on to the ODNR.
Questions, council?
We didn't have a first reading on this?
No.
No.
Maybe we just had a discussion. I thought it was first.
I would ask for a motion to suspend.
Yep. I make a motion to suspend a two-reading rule on Resolution 25-1230.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Redding made a motion to adopt or suspend the two-reading rule. Ms. Dosa has seconded. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo.
Aye.
Mr. Parsons.
Aye.
Mr. Redding.
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa.
Aye.
Mr. George.
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Ms. Rissel.
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, the two-reading rule has been suspended. Where we going, council? Any questions yet?
Nope.
I would ask for a motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 25-1230, please.
Ms. Dosa has made a motion to adopt. Ms. Rissel has seconded the motion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo.
Aye.
Mr. Parsons.
Aye.
Mr. Redding.
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa.
Aye.
Mr. George.
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Ms. Rissel.
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1230 is adopted. We have two more resolutions, first readings. Resolution number 25-1231, a resolution opposing House Bill 335 and urging the Ohio General Assembly to reject legislation that eliminates inside millage and transfers local budgetary authority to the county budget commissions.
So last meeting, Mr. Parsons directed me to kind of do some research into this. You have a, as I mentioned before, a recap of kind of what the House Bill 335 entails. Sort of the short of it, when you form a city, the state grants you the ability to pass 10 mills without it being voted upon by the public. So in general, this is saying they want to do away with that ability. I'm a little unclear. I mean, I know it freezes what you currently have. I don't recall if it would get rid of it. We have 3.07 of inside millage currently. Would it actually do away with that 3.07? That I'm unclear of.
I don't know anything on this. That's not what I was asking about last time. I was talking about the proposal that is going around to put on the ballot a constitutional amendment
okay.
to do
Okay.
away with property taxes.
So this is, I mean, it's similar, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Those are different things. So this is a similar thing that's trying to be done. This is formally in the House. It's in House committee. I don't think there's a Senate version, so it would have to pass the House and then go through the Senate. The resolution would be saying that you are against this. We would send it to the state just as us saying hoping that it would sway them, that, we don't want to do away with the inside millage. This would also affect townships and school districts.
Affect townships, I don't think.
Well, it freezes what townships have. They
okay.
can't add more.
Okay, got it.
But again, and that's what I was saying, I'm not sure if it actually would do away with what we've already passed. Again, we have 3.07 inside millage, which is worth, I think, a little over 300,000, maybe 370,000 if I remember right. It'd be a big change to how things are done. You can kind of read through this. It's kind of early in the process. So I mean, again, if you were wanting to pass it, you wouldn't need to do it in one reading, I don't think. And if you want to take the time to kind of read through this, again, this would just be council formally saying to the state, hey, we don't agree with what's being put forth, and hoping that would kind of sway them, to not go through with it. I also have letters that are available that the OML has prepared, form letters, if anyone individually would like to sign it and send it off to a representative. Those are available, so just kind of.
I've got a list of people that Ethan gave me, and I was gonna match them up with their addresses or phone numbers too.
Okay.
Especially the people that have it in committee right now.
Yeah.
I think there's 8 or 9 on the committee.
This would be a substantial change. I mean, I feel like probably any levy we're going to do, we're going to put to the voters at this point. So, I mean, realistically, I don't know that it would necessarily impact us if they were to pass this, but I don't know, any future city that were to be formed or township, they would be impacted. I mean, they could pass a sales tax. I mean, there's other taxes that are available, but just the.
We can't pass a sales tax.
No, we
The
can't.
county can pass a sales
Right,
tax.
and you know how much money we get from the county.
Yeah, I think I meant income tax.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that, part of what their argument was as well, the cities, they can just raise their income tax, no,
Yeah,
no,
not without going to the voter.
exactly right.
Yeah,
And
the other- and-
we're taxed,
Yeah, and I don't have.
Yes, Joe.
I don't have a problem with going to the voter, but listen to what this says, right? I mean, of the first 10 mills, the city of Mount Healthy has only got 3.07 of those mills. So the other 6.3 is going somewhere else. And, I don't know where, probably some to the county, some to wherever. I read this, we all got this in an email from the OML updates. I didn't see anything about the school system in their first 20 mills. So it's kind of like, what's the reason for all the bias against the cities? So,
well, and there's been talk in both, I don't know if it's just the House, of doing away with cities having income tax too. So basically, they're trying to put us out of business
Yeah,
and have us go into township government.
Yes, and I don't get that. So
Well,
unless
most of
they're
them are from
trying to do
townships.
some version of,
Yeah.
like a metropolitan Louisville type model or something like that, which sounds like all the people down there don't like, so. But, yeah, so that's my take on it. I don't get it, but.
I think
so-
the state legislature wants cities to join forces with other cities and have joint fire departments and police departments, like we tried.
Yeah, like
That-
we tried.
We thought we had it, it didn't work out, but it's not as easy as they think it is.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay. I mean, I guess my other part of this is that, I don't know how quick this is gonna get through the state. I'm not gonna say it's gonna get through in a month, but the next time we meet is in July.
15th.
15th. So, here we are. So I would actually even propose to suspend a 2 reading rule on this one.
Well, we're not voting on a tax increase or anything, so suspending the 2 reading rule doesn't harm anything. But what it does is,
Strictly a resolution.
yeah, it gives us the opportunity to make sure we get it passed and sent up to the State House, as opposed to missing that opportunity and
Yep.
pretending it doesn't exist.
Yep, yes, sir. That's what I was thinking.
Anybody else? Questions, comments?
I'm not opposed to suspending the 2 reading rule.
And I'll make a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule on 25-1231, I believe it is.
I'll second it. It is 3-1.
Okay. Mr. Ray has made a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule on resolution number 25-1231. Ms. Lingo has seconded that. Questions or comments before I ask for a vote? Roll call then, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parson?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Rissel?
By a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1231 the rules have been suspended. Any other comments or questions? Then I would ask for a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-1231.
Second.
Mr. Young has made a motion to adopt. Mr. Parsons has seconded. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-25, or number 25-1231 is adopted. One more item. Resolution number 1232, resolution accessing fines against property owners for non-payment and non-compliance with the city's rental permit program for single-family dwellings.
This one's, it's been a long time coming here. Much all the credit goes to Kathy in putting all this together, doing the letters. I think they went, I believe she said the first letters went out January 15th. We gave everyone a deadline of April, I think it was April 15th, something like that, to make the payment. I think we started with about 300 addresses, got whittled down to a little under 300. I think there's 90 or so on this list that either just, were basically just no responses. Everyone received a second letter. We tried making calls. These are ones that just did not make, we were not able to make contact with or just simply refused to respond to us. So if for some reason anyone were to come with us and say, hey, this really isn't a rental, I mean, we could work out with them undoing the assessment, but I went through and I've double checked all these. They all look good to me. The parcel numbers look good. I think this is a good list. And we'll still continue to work on them and getting, again, to me, the main reason to do it is to get that contact information so we know who the owners are, at least the property management companies, in case there is an issue that the tenant might have or our emergency personnel might have. We'll still continue to work on getting that updated. But I feel like this list is good. Majority of people did pay it. Good income source, helps us fund the property maintenance and building and coding, building and zoning. Everything seems in order to me.
Questions, comments, concerns, council? First reading?
I'm fine with that.
We need to get this on the property tax, so if they sell the house,
Right.
we can get the money from them. I
Yeah.
think we need to, I make a motion to suspend the two reading rule on resolution 25-1232.
Second that.
Mr. Parsons has made a motion to suspend the two-reading rule. Mr. Redding seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, the two-reading rule's been suspended. Any other questions or comments? Ask for a motion to adopt then.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-1232.
Okay, Mr. Young has made a motion to adopt. Ms. Rissel seconded. Roll call.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1232 is adopted. That is all the resolutions and ordinances that we have. So we move to old business. I think there's a couple things that we got to do. One of them is the mayor's
That's new
That's
business.
new business,
new business, I'm sorry.
I would think. Before our executive session.
Anybody have any old business they need to bring up?
Don't forget to sign the sign-up sheet for the concert series.
Okay, where is that at? Okay.
And the building self-serve.
New business council. sign-up sheet.
New business, old business, new business? What are you talking about?
New business.
Oh,
Nobody,
okay.
nobody had any old business.
That was a new business?
Yes. Sign-up sheets.
Executive session?
Is commissions, is that just a voice vote? I mean, an aye vote?
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion to adopt the mayor's list of candidates for the City of Mount Healthy Planning Commission.
I would second that.
Read the names, okay. Jennifer Moody, expiring in '27. Scott Bauer, expiring in '28. Kim Cremines, expiring in '27. Dave Osterday, expiring in '26. And Jeff Plackey, expiring in '27. That's the end of the years.
Commission, you want to do building and zoning?
Any questions or comments? Okay, and I'd ask everybody, all those in favor of said motion, please.
Who did the second? Did somebody second it? Cordell.
All those in favor of said motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried for the Mount Healthy Planning Commission. Then we have the Building and Zoning Commission. What's that?
Read the names.
Well, who makes the motion?
Make a motion.
Oh, we're gonna make a Sure, I make a motion to adopt the building and zoning list of appointees by Mayor Moody.
Read the names.
Second.
Okay,
I'm going to read the names.
yeah, that's what I was gonna do after the second,
Okay.
unless we have a third. Thomas Goyas, Diane Kallmeyer, John Knox, Steve Lawson, and John Peters. Sorry, I did not read the expiration dates. Tom Goyas, 12/31/26, Diane Kallmeyer, 12/31/27, John Knox, 12/31/25, Steve Lawson, 12/31/27, and John Peters, 12/31/26.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Redding and seconded by
Mr. Parsons?
Parsons, seconded. All those in favor of said ordinance, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Any other old business, council?
New business?
New business?
Make a motion to go into executive session and discuss property. I don't know what the code there is.
The exact code and language and,
Yeah.
Read what's on the,
Is it on here?
oh.
Yeah, it's
under
on
new
here,
business.
under new business.
It's in the notes.
Here.
Motion to move to executive session in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G2 to consider the purchase of property for public purposes.
Okay, Mr. Young has made a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Mr. Redding is seconded. All those, roll call vote for that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Ms. Rissel?
By a vote of 7-0, council has agreed to go into executive session. We will come back out and however many minutes to close the council meeting. That will be the only thing